Good afternoon. Welcome to Impromptu with Dr. C. I'm excited to see you here. Last impromptu, I was talking about 8 factors that I have noticed now that I work in the mainstream schools, not in a specialized school setting, and I'm able to really put this together, right? To compare the two. I was going to do that at the end of the school year, but I decided not to do that. I wanted to make sure that I really think about it and give you my honest opinion when it comes to comparing specialized schools and mainstream schools. So that's what this is about. So last impromptu, I talk about curriculum and instruction. I talk about resource availability. I talk about teacher training and expertise. And I finished up with individualized education plan, IEPs. So if you want to know what I said about it, go to part 1. But here is part 2 with the four that's left of my observation. Basically, observation in the disconnect of mainstream and specialized. There's a disconnect with the two, right? But we are trying. There's some schools that are really trying. I'm going to give them prompts for that they are trying. And while I'm trying to explain the last 4, I'm going to mention something that mainstream schools are trying to do to really get special ed students to be comfortable just a little bit. But hands down, specialized school is the best option for me, for students with disabilities, especially if they have severe disabilities, right? I feel like specialized school is hands down more supportive, able to really meet a lot of the needs, right? Anyway, that's my opinion. So let's get to the last 4 of this. I'm already like 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes into this conversation, just saying good afternoon, what I was talking about. So let's get to where we should be talking about. So the number 5, I feel that, again, my opinion, if you have anything that you feel you can add to this conversation respectfully, please comment below. And also, we can have a conversation. Like, this is open to a conversation. That's why I bring it up, so we can have a decent conversation as teachers, as parents, as people, individuals that have interest in special education, and we want to see the best out of it, all right? So mainstream schools, I feel, when it comes to peer interaction and social integration, right? And mainstream schools, they aim for that inclusive education, promoting social integration among all students. That's the aim for mainstream schools: integration, inclusion, which is fantastic, the idea of it. However, students with disabilities sometimes feel isolated or face bullying in these settings, and teachers don't really see the bullying all the time. Sometimes students come to me and say, "Oh, Dr. C, so and so says so and so to a student with disability, and I think that was not nice." And I was like, "Okay, when did that happen?" "Oh, it happened in the gym," or "It happened in the playground," or "It happened here." So other students feel like they see the bullying going on, they see the isolation going on, and they identify the student with disability. They see it. General ed students see the student with disabilities. Even though they see it, sometimes they don't know how to help. because other students are bullying them, right? Other students are isolating them out of conversation, out of social interaction. So that happens in the mainstream schools. But when it comes to specialized schools, often specialized schools offer more supportive environments with peers who have similar challenges, right? Fostering a sense of belonging. So that sense of belonging is very important, that I feel like specialized schools really embrace that sense of belonging. I've been in specialized schools where they have proms, they have Halloween parties, they have Valentine's parties, they have like so much different activities that the students with similar challenges, similar disabilities, or just disabilities in general in these specialized schools, they feel belonged. Like I can sometimes I see them dancing, like they don't care if their dance is off track. They don't care if they just jump into dance. They don't care about any of it. Like they feel so belonged. Like they feel like this is our school. This is our program. This is our space. And they enjoy it. They enjoy it to the fullest. Unlike when they go into prom setting in the mainstream schools, or they go to parties that mainstream schools are having, you tend to see them sitting on the corner somewhere, and they don't want to embarrass themselves, or they don't feel like people will accept the awkward positions in the setting, right? So hands down, special education or specialized schools, when it comes to special education, really embrace that supportive environment, that fostering that sense of belonging. So that's what I observe when it comes to that, right? So the sixth thing I also notice is that when it comes to mainstream schools and specialized schools is that I don't want to really, I'm trying to find the best way to say this, but mainstream schools often prioritize academic achievement. They really do. It's all about your performance when it comes to mainstream schools. All about the performance. What are you doing? What are you doing in academic, right? Which may not be aligned with the individuals that have life skills education that is crucial for any student with special education. That life skills, functional skills needs to be in the curriculum when it comes to students with disabilities. Hands down, it has to be there. But mainstream schools, they often prioritize this academic achievement that sometimes put unnecessary stress on students with disabilities. It really does. And specialized schools are more likely to incorporate that functional skills training into the curriculum. So I remember a friend of mine, she just started mainstream school, and she's part of this group actually, and she showed a picture of her classroom, and in her classroom she had a kitchen in her classroom. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. But she's in the mainstream school, and her classroom had a kitchen, and she was able to incorporate cooking and this whole thing about, the kitchen setup, everything in her classroom. I think mainstream schools are trying. They're trying to incorporate this functional skills training within their curriculum, which I like, right? But it's not there enough. But specialized schools, oh my God. I taught in specialized schools where we had laundry room, where the kids went there to do laundry. We had a classroom. We had a room, not classroom. We had a room that is fully furnished, like a kitchen, living room, dining room. Like it's like an apartment space, right? And I love that setting. I mean, the students go there to to actually cook there. They can sit there to eat. They can watch TV. They can sit on the sofa. I love that, and that's what specialized schools does. We even have like gardens where they go out to do some gardens and things like that. And I feel that's amazing. I feel that specialized schools really, really support um, the in I wouldn't say the functional part of the curriculum, right? And the life skills part of curriculum. Unlike mainstream schools, really doesn't have the facility to do that all the time. Now, I see Pastor Charles here. Hi. Thank you so much. I see your text. Let me just see. Let me give you a hi that acknowledge you for sure. So that's what when it comes to number 6, functional on academic versus functional skills, right? So that's my take on it.